and
Oddworld.
Hey oddballs, I'm your host Jensen, and welcome to episode 173. Quick little announcement, but I am so sorry to anybody who listened to last week's unedited version of the episode. That was terrible, and I took that down, and I am sorry, but the correct version is uploaded. Oh, it was a mess, but just know that I normally don't do that, and I am so sorry if that was your first time listening. That's not the norm. But anyhow, hopefully that does not happen again. There was just been an awful lot going on in my life behind the scenes, and your girl was a little tired. There. Eventually, if things all pan out, you will know what is going on, but for now, just be aware that my brain is just all over the place, and there are things going on that I am not ready to share. So anyhow, enough about me. Let's say happy birthday. Today is October 22nd, baby's birthdays. I have the book of birthdays in front of me, and we are going to get to learn who you are. So here we go.
Happy birthday.
Those born on this day are blessed with a charismatic presence that draws all eyes to them. And although they are not adverse to basking in the attention of others, they would prefer to be admired for their capabilities rather than for more superficial reasons. And, indeed, October 22nd people possess a veritable treasure chest of talents and positive qualities, including their intelligent thoughtfulness, which endows them with the ability to discriminate between right and wrong, and their profound empathy with those whose circumstances are less than happy, as well as their urge to defend or promote the interests of those with whom they identify. Although they are imaginative and independent individuals who are irresistibly attracted to seeking out and exploring novel experiences, their ultimate aim is to combine their personal predilections with their desire to assist the emotional or circumstantial advancement of others. Despite their orientation toward others, however, October 22nd individuals remain resolute individualists who never lose sight of their emotional ideals, a propensity that may make them difficult to live with, in that they may become overly preoccupied with their dreams or else make unfeasible demands of their nearest and dearest. Especially perfectionists when it comes to the regulation of their own lives, they typically set their visionary sights high and will work toward their attainment with prodigious determination. Best suited to careers where they can pursue their innovative aims freely, those born on this day will therefore especially flourish as artists working in a variety of specialties, or, with their powerful sense of justice, careers in legal or social spheres. Their virtues are imaginative, sensitive, empathetic. Their vices are demanding, strict, unforgiving. So happy birthday again, you October 22nd babies. If this sounds like you or somebody that you know, as always, let me know in the comments, and let's go ahead and move on to stories.
This comes from Dirty Fun 1991 on Reddit.
So, growing up, I lived 3 houses down from a historic cemetery. Needless to say, growing up I saw a few things that made me a believer. My dad always poked fun at me until he had an experience of his own. It was rather validating, honestly. But after that, he was more open to things. This event happened years later. My dad goes to Canada every year to go fishing. I've been to this place many times with him, just not in the last few years. Well, anyway, one night after he returned from a trip, we were having a glass of whiskey. Is there anything better to have paranormal come to Jesus moments with? He said he wanted to tell me something that he'd experienced up there on his last trip. The second night they were there for 7 days, he was sitting on the porch of their cabin smoking. From there, he could look into the equipment shed about 60 feet away. It's a small building that has a pair of barn doors. They keep equipment in there to keep the camp going. And this is a camp only reachable by boat or aircraft. The doors were ajar a bit, and he could see two glowing eyes. They were surrounded by the outline of a very large dog. He obviously thought he was just drunk and went back inside. The next morning, he looked in there to see what he could have possibly seen that would have given an eye shine like that look. There was nothing. No reflections. No red glass. Nothing. The next night, he didn't see it. But then, the one after that, he did. He even called one of the other guys out and pointed and said, "Hey, what do you see in there?" The response, "Fuck, that looks like a big fucking dog with glowing eyes." He ended up seeing it multiple nights. Even saw its head move. Which, to me, lends it to not being just some pieces of equipment with a shadow on it. I got him to really describe it. And after showing him a few different dog profiles, the one he picked out was a Tibetan Mastiff. I'll be honest, I know the legends. You see a hellhound and you have a year to live, max. My dad has a heart condition. I was more than a little worried. But it's been 2 years and he is still here. I can only assume either he wasn't there for my dad or he was guarding something far more important. All right, so I know what a Mastiff looks like, but I looked up the Tibetan Mastiff and it is so freaking cute. I'm not even gonna lie. Now, granted, if I saw this thing in a shed at night with glowing eyes, I would shit my pants. But I mean, the first image that's on Google is just this cute, big ass, fluffy dog with like its tongue hanging out. It's so cute. It's so freaking cute. Now, that aside, the very last sentence caught me off guard because I was thinking, oh my God, like your poor dad, hopefully he doesn't pass away. And then obviously like it's been 2 years since and he's still here, which thank goodness for that. But the last sentence of this dog guarding something, oh my God, let me tell you where my brain went. First of all, I'm a Harry Potter fan, so I was really thinking that's what Fluffy was guarding. Even though it looks like nothing, it looks literally nothing like the dog off Harry Potter, but that's where my brain first went. Then really, my brain went to, oh my God, what is it guarding? Like legitimately, if it is guarding something, what is it guarding? Like the entrance to hell? The entrance to something bad? A portal of sorts? I mean, my brain really went out there. But also, I meant to ask, and I'm assuming you would have said something, but was there ever a dog on this property, at least since your dad has been there? Because my only other thought is there was a dog on this property at one point who passed away, and maybe that's what it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, now I'm really stretching. What if there was a dog on this property at one point, way before like your dad and this camp and all that stuff happened, and the owner of said dog died? Now hear me out, because I'm going for a wild one here. But what if that was the thing? The owner died, and where that dog is at night is where the owner is resting in peace. As in, nobody knows that there's a body under there, and the dog is guarding that. That sounds pretty good, right? Other than that, I really just hope it's not a hellhound, because those are not cute. I mean, have you looked up images for a hellhound? Because those are very scary looking. They kind of look like Dobermans, and those aren't scary, but like, it doesn't matter. The point is, that's kind of what I'm starting to think now, is maybe, just maybe, this dog used to be on that island, their owner is now deceased and potentially down below, or maybe if it's even the dog's remains. But you know, if it feels like it's guarding something, then like I don't know, that's where my brain is going, and I honestly feel a lot better about that explanation than like a hellhound. So if any of you guys have any ideas as to what this could be, let me know in the comments, and let's go ahead and move on to the next story.
This comes from Dismal Trust 9478 on Reddit.
My dad died when I was young. I saw a medium and he came through. She told me he wanted me to have his wallet, although he didn't carry one. It was bought for him and he wanted me to have it. I searched my entire house and couldn't locate it. Around 5 weeks later, I had salmonella and I was very sick. Back then, it took days to test the sample. I was laying in bed and I woke up. My dad was standing at the side of the bed. He had been dead around 17 years at this point. He looked well. Suddenly, I rose up and turned around. I was still laying on the bed. I felt very light and peaceful. He took me into the spare room where the wallet was floating above a box. We walked back into the room, stood by myself laying on the bed, and he almost threw me back into my body. I woke up and he was gone. The wallet was right on top of the box where he had shown me. Could have been dehydration and lack of food, but how was the wallet where I saw it? Years later, I still can't explain it. First of all, so sorry about your dad, but I'm not even gonna lie. I thought for a minute when you said suddenly I rose up and turned around and then you were still laying in bed that you had died. And my heart stopped for a minute because I'm like, rational brain, Jensen. Like, this is not a dead person writing this. This is crazy. So apparently I'm on some crazy shit today. I'm just kidding. I had a Celsius, but this is crazy. I love how this medium was like, your dad really wants you to have this wallet. Meaning, even though he didn't have one, he knew that you'd carry one or you would carry one. And it's really sweet that he reached through and had this freaking wallet that you had no idea about. First of all, this medium knew about it. And then freaking you have this like out of body experience, which I thought you died, but you have this out of body experience and you go with your dad and the wallet is floating above a box. I think your dad was like, okay, yo, I'm going to take you. We are going to go get this wallet. I'm going to show you where it's at. And then you're going to get it. And it is all sweet and kind of spooky. And also, I'm glad you didn't die. I just find it odd. I find it odd, first of all, the entire thing, okay? This medium knew that your dad had a freaking wallet that he never carried, but he wanted you to have. And then you tear up your house looking for it, couldn't find it. And then all of a sudden, you're just having this out of body experience and you find the wallet because you're walking with your dad and it's floating above a box. And then when you're actually awake, it's there. It's weird. I can't explain it for you either. I really can't. Other than I really think that your dad was just like, damn it, I'm going to get this for you. And he did. And he helped. And I think that's great. Hell, I wish spirits were more helpful like that. That's the kind of help that we need. Bring me to the thing I lost because God, I lose my phone all the time. All the time. Can you help me? Can you help me find my phone? But anyhow, if you guys have any ideas as to how this could have happened, let me know in the comments. If you have a story like either story today or any paranormal story in general, head on over to my website and submit it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And well, it's an odd world after all. Oddballs, thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave 5 stars or thumbs up on whatever podcast platform you listen on. If you have any comments for this episode, comment below or head over to Instagram and comment on this episode's preview. To submit a story or for more information, go to itsanoddworldafterall.com.